It is Alien Monday.
Are aliens real?
They're real.
That's all I needed to know. You stop right there.
Boom. That's former president saying they're real.
They're real. And then he's come out, he's tried to walk it back in a silly way. It's too late. We already know what you said. All right? You know what? You're comfortable. You said it. That's what happens when you're comfortable. Right? You get comfortable, you tell the truth. People want to know why was Howard Stern? Everybody's talking about Howard Stern's a great interview. You know why? Because you spend 2 hours there and you talk about stuff that's useless and funny. You let your guard down and you open up. Same thing. They were talking about stuff. He asked them, hey, are aliens real? It's like, yeah, they're real. I've not seen them, but they're real. What? Should be the biggest story. Should be. But instead, we're talking about, I don't know what. We're going to attack Iran again. What is that about? What are we going to do with that? Why are we going to do that? And I know everybody's praising little Marco and his speech today, which, by the way, was a great speech. It was a great speech. And I continue to say this. If I had to choose between Marco and J.D. Vance, Marco's heads and tails above. A better choice to run in 2028. But no, I don't want to colonize anymore. I don't want to go over and take over everybody's stuff. I don't want to do any of those. No, but looks like we're heading in that direction. That's what he kind of pitched to everybody. But all I care and all I heard was, are there aliens?
Are aliens real?
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in what is it?
Area 51.
Area 51. There's no underground.
Yeah, that's what you think.
So where are they, Mr. President?
They're among us, man. They're among us. How would that shape humanity? Like, what would that do? See, religions would adapt, right? Because they would say, God created everything, right? They would adapt. So, all of them would say, Catholics would say it's God created everything. That included other dimensions, other things. And, Islam's already said plurals of worlds, right? And so you can start counting it down. They would say, but it would change. There's no doubt. It would change everything. And, how much more advanced? Well, they're super advanced. We know that for sure because they're here. But it's not the way I'm telling you, man. It's other dimensions. More than it is them coming from far away. Because the speed of which they would have to travel, unless they could teleport themselves, it's just, we can't fathom it. We can't fathom it. I mean, we would just, we couldn't even imagine, the average person passes out when they go on those little fly arounds with the JetBlue, the Blue Angels and stuff, and they go. Could you imagine what it'd be like to come here and speed of light? Holy moly. I mean, you're a nerd, Mason. You'd probably just liquefy yourself. We would,
Gladly.
in our mind.
Happily.
In our mind.
Yeah, I mean.
In our mind. But.
For the progression of traveling through space.
Yes, and time. Space and time, kids. Space and time.
To go where no man has gone before.
But that's why I think if we are other dimensional, right? That means that there is other way more advanced and maybe other dimensions that we will one day get to that aren't that advanced.
Well, isn't that how Captain Kirk and Spock, beamed themselves up or down? They went different dimensions.
Yeah. And they were able to teleport, which is a cool thing. So if you're thinking from outside of what would be our, galaxies that we can see, then, you would have to think teleportation would have to be a big thing. But if you're thinking other dimensional, so in a different world where, we were joking earlier about the TV show Fallout, which is amazing, where the next dimension over may be, it looks like the 50s, but the advancement in technology is way like the Jetsons. Who knows?
Yeah, nuclear holocaust makes civilization advance quite quick.
Yes, it does.
According to that show.
So, great show. Amazing show.
It's fun.
You guys have not seen it. Amazing. And what's his name? The guy that plays the bounty hunter. I always forget his name. God, he's such a great actor. Who's got no nose in it. Just scary looking. But that being said, I heard Alien, and I thought,
they're real.
They're real.
That's what he said.
That's what he said.
They're real.
He walk it back.
Walter Goggins.
Walter Goggins. Yeah. Yeah. So if they are here, if they have the technology, they're not coming here in the flesh. Some people said they're falling angels. Well, he said aliens. He didn't say falling angels. He said aliens. So I don't know what that would be like. You know, are they fallen angels? Maybe. But are they more like coming from the just different dimensions? Because that math question should have been the number one thing talked about in science last year outside of the direwolves. Direwolves, baby. We're trying to bring back the direwolves. So, like, we already brought those back. We got another dimension with dinosaurs. They're our pets.
And teacup mastodons.
Oh, yeah. That's our dream.
A mastodon the size of this coffee cup.
Yeah. Keeping a pterodactyl inside of a bird cage. Right? Tiny woolly mammoths.
Name it Little Petey. What's Little Petey eat? Mice.
Oh, my God. So that is just, they'll send robots. Oh, yeah, maybe. Maybe they send robots.
You know what I saw the other day? There's an AI-controlled drone made out of liquid that can phase through bars now.
Oh, that's good.
Using its body. And I was like, oh, that looks like Terminator 2, doesn't it?
That's exactly what we need, right? Like,
Yeah.
Did you see the chair that looks like a crab, but it turns into a chair? It goes up and down the stairs to help people if they need a chair somewhere?
Yeah.
Because
That's interesting.
Yeah.
It looked interesting, but I was like, man, give an artificial intelligence access to that. It could chase you anywhere.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're apparently, so if you guys haven't heard, Palantir, which, by the way, is the most scary of scary things, Trump administration decided to give Palantir the keys to everything. So there's a fight between Anthropic and the Department of War. And Hegseth and the Pentagon want them gone because they used Claude in the raid on Maduro. And Claude's got it's got its marching orders that says you're not to do harm. And, Pete Hegseth, because you know what? There's somebody that turn over something free will to make anything he wants. He wants it to be more robust. And so there's a battle going on right there. But Palantir was a huge part of that as well. And they, according to Kim.com, and if you guys don't know who Kim.com is, you know who Kim.com is, right?
I think so.
Kim.com was like the world's biggest pirate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he pirated. He had the torrents. He had all the stuff.
Yeah.
And he was also, I think, the number one Halo. He was number one in Halo, Call of Duty.
I believe that.
And so, but they got information that Palantir was hacked and that they have been spying on basically every American and every person they could.
Shocker.
Like scary spying, like the kind of stuff that makes Snowden stuff look like nothing. And you're like, oh, Peter Thiel and all those guys. Yeah, scary. But these robots, maybe it's part of it. Maybe they give us this stuff and they tell us. Maybe that's why we're doubling up our, 1.7 or 1.5 trillion or whatever we're doing for defense. But
yeah, but I'm just saying, if we're hitting that level of technology, imagine what they're bringing.
Oh, I know. That's
they can come to our planet. We can't even do that.
Yeah, we can't even. That's why when you see like this weird stuff where you think there's a ripple in time, is that them just coming over really quick and going,
Just taking a little glimpse.
Yeah. So, it's
those
crazy.
VHS shows they sent me in space. I like those. I wanted to see if they had another season, so I popped in for a second.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
Just for another season, right? And that math thing I talked about last year, they figured out a math question that no supercomputer on Earth could have done, but this chip that they created, this thing was able to go to different dimensions to find math that we have not invented, and it did it in 5 minutes, which would have it would have taken us not years, not decades. It would have taken us some 700 trillion times the time that Earth has been around to come up with, and they did it in 5 minutes. Nobody finds that creepy? I mean, it's cool, right? Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. 5 minutes. And the guy who comes up with one of the big AI guys at Google said, look, we're sending stuff out into space for the last 60 years, hoping to get something sent back to us. Like, we acknowledge you guys. You're not looking in the right place. It's beside us. It's another layer. It's another dimension that we don't see, but oddly enough is right next to us, kind of like the Matrix. Oh, that's creepy.
That's what
But
I'm
cool.
saying.
Now, would you embrace it?
Embrace the Matrix or aliens coming through?
Or whatever they are.
Or dimensional travel?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like every show and movie always warn about messing with your...
The butterfly effect?
Yeah.
But if it's not...
ripples.
But if it's not time travel, it's just another... You're not messing with something that has happened in the past.
Yeah.
It's just another something that lives alongside of you that you can't see. Because they're aliens, Ken!
What if I don't want to come back?
That should be fine.
Yeah, but then there's also time and space trying to account for two of you in one space that there's normally one.
Yes.
I feel like that's something big waiting to happen. I don't know.
I don't know, but I mean, you
watch too
can't
much sci-fi.
you can't ignore how anybody can ignore what was said in the way that it's just like he tried to explain it off. I'm sorry, you said there were aliens.
Well, I've never seen them.
Yeah, but you said
They're not under the ground.
right. Yeah, and what was that movie? Somebody said the movie with Ed Harris and aliens at the bottom of the ground. What was that movie called? Oh God, that movie was amazing. Where he goes down to the bottom of the ocean. That's where Burchett thinks that they're at the bottom of the ocean.
Honestly,
Yeah.
with what I've seen down there, wouldn't be surprised.
No, and by the way, you know what? If you were to tell me, I bet you if they show up here today and they would have said, "Do you know that there's something on the planet that already represents us?" I would say, "Yeah, it's octopus."
Yep.
Like, what exactly is that? That's as alien as it gets. Like, it's so bizarre what it can do, how it can transform, the things it can do, how brilliant it is, the brains, all that stuff. I'm sorry.
They're nuts, yeah.
Yeah, they're nuts. Or an axolotl. How does it grow itself back? That's the other weird
Those are
thing.
cool.
Those are very cool. So,
Cool animals, man.
aliens, baby, they're here. Maybe on the other side of the Antarctic wall, the ice wall.
Invite them to the State of the Union. Come hang out with us.
Oh,
Aliens.
Trump. The Abyss. That's the movie. The Abyss was great.
Yeah.
That was great. It's a good movie. I'm telling you guys, aliens. He said it. I didn't say it. Obama did. Somebody's all, did they call him racist? He didn't call him anything because he's not met him yet. And they won't let him, right? That's the other thing. You know, Trump is pushing to meet him. He's like, what does he mean? He gets to know what the aliens are and we don't. He's like, well, maybe they don't like Kristi Noem. Maybe they're afraid they're going to shoot the alien dog.
Do they got a beach where I can put hotels?
You know that? That would be so funny. Find out, Jared Kushner, find out where they are, find out what dimension it is, and if they have the letter T, and see if we can brand it as the fourth dimension, the fourth Trump mention. Oh, kids, we're having fun. Coming up, a lot of stuff. Yeah, octopus are aliens. I want to see the liquid thing. Now I have to go find that weird thing.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find it.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm telling you, it's the stuff that these things can do is insane. I just remember our best fighter fought, and there's a documentary out on Netflix, fought an AI fighter in a first 2 times they flew against each other. He won. And our best pilot. And then after that, he goes, I couldn't last 2 minutes with it. The AI pilot destroyed me.
Because it learned.
Because it learned everything. Not only learned, it anticipated every move I ever had. That's it, kids. Game over.
Yeah, my co-pilot is starting to go ahead and do the things that I ask it to without me asking.
Yes. Yes.
I still haven't named it, and I'm not going
Nope.
to.
Nope. Don't name it, because when you do, you become pals. It's hard to ask him questions about data centers. Hey, data centers, just out of curiosity, can you give me a snapshot of how much the data centers are driving up prices? I mean, no, it's not your fault, even though it kind of is. Oh, my Lord. Watching some of the Olympics. Our women are into the hockey finals.
Yep, the gold game.
I think we already played the Canadians. We already beat them 5-0. We showed them who's boss.
Yeah.
We showed them who's the best in the kitchen.
Where's Brother Bilal when you need him?
That was for Bell. Oh, Bell likes to offend women. That's what he does. And he's like, why are you single? I don't know.
I have no idea.
No idea. Because you got to leave the house, Bell. That's why. That's why.
Can't blame the wire on your car anymore.
No. I saw that there was ICE protest last week at Mount Juliet.
Yeah.
Here, let me tell you about protests when it comes to kids. Hey, kids, you guys want to pretend like you're going to go to school and then walk out for doing something good? You're like, yeah. And then halfway through whatever it is we're protesting, my ass is walking home. Why are you home so early? Oh, we were protesting. We don't want people, I don't know, whatever. I don't know, something for something. You know, everybody's upset about it, though, Mom. Heck no, we won't go. That's what I said. And then I left. Didn't you ever do that?
Man, we never protested anything back in my day.
In high school, like my year that I went to Cyprus, we had the teachers went out on strike, and I pulled up, and all of the teachers were out there striking, and I turned around and I drove home, and my mom's like, what are you doing home? I'm like, Mom, the teachers are on strike. She goes, but they have substitutes. I said, but Grandpa is the president of the Carpenters Union, and I'm not going to cross the picket line.
I'm not going to be a scab, Mom.
Yeah. And you know, I'm not paying attention anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Would you rather me watch movies here or watch movies in class?
That's right. That's the way it should be, kids. So just letting you guys know that. So, but I saw that last week. And TB sent us some. He's out. He said, the ignorance is spelt wrong on one of the things. Fight ignorance, not immigrants. Maybe that one should read, get back to class.
I was about to say. We'll learn a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, somebody put him up to it.
Of course. Well,
some adult put him up to it.
You had somebody inside of a text thread or one of those things and the opportunity to go and to get the kids out. And then the teachers are like, well, we're not going to stop them because it's great. And then the kids go out and then they go home. And they're out in front of I don't even know what it was like. It was a gas station. I saw it. I was like, okay, they're going in there. Should probably going in. Get something to drink before I go home. I think I've done a good job. And it's great, too, because you tell your friends, I care about everybody, when really what you want to do is leave. Because that's what you do. Everybody. I would protest, too. If you gave me the opportunity to protest, I don't care what it is, or go to class.
I'm getting out of class.
You bet you're... I used to get excited for a fire drill. Like, there's a good chance we could stall this thing out for 30 minutes. We'll miss the rest of history today. There you go. So there's that. One of the greats passed away today, Robert Duvall.
And dear God, protect our supreme commander on the field and our commander-in-chief in Washington, D.C.
Frank, were you on this religious kick at home, or did you crack up over here?
Oh, so great. Donald Sutherland, Robert Duvall. That was MASH. Forget about MASH. He played Frank.
Frank Burns.
Oh, God, that was so funny. They just they destroyed him in the television show, and they destroyed him in the movie. Just brilliant. Just brilliant. He was, he'd get on. It's like one of those things where, you few actors show up on screen, you recognize there's somebody. That's something, right? That's not going to be in and out kind of thing. There is something about that that's going to be memorable. And I wonder, like we sit here, we play like this, obviously.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Those things were, they're iconic. People say that, who've never even seen the movie, but they recognize the line.
Mm-hmm.
And, Duvall was one of a kind, got himself an Academy Award. He won a bunch of other things. Should have probably won more Academy Awards. He won for Tender Mercies. I remember that.
Yeah, I'm going to have to check that movie out. I don't believe I've ever seen that.
So I remember that movie as, that was there was a period in especially the late 70s, early 80s, a lot of depressing movies. On Golden Pond, Tender Mercies. But he was just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And 95 years old.
Died at home with his loved ones around him.
I think most people would sign up for that,
Absolutely.
With his loved ones, which is just crazy. just the lifespan. He worked up until what we say 2022.
That's the last movie that comes up on the list whenever I do a search.
Yeah, played Boo Radley in Kill a Mockingbird. He played a lot of famous, and Lonesome Dove was just amazing. But Blue Bonnet Spearmint was the one in Open Range. Just the name, like somebody because old timey names were the best.
Oh yeah,
they came up with Blue Bonnet Spearmint. It was just so great. Oh, incredible actor. What's going on in Georgia is so crazy. So this dad's on trial, as he should be.
Colin Gray is being accused of child cruelty by providing a weapon with reckless disregard of the danger that might pose to other children, and by committing that child cruelty to other children, which resulted in the death of those other children.
So 4 children were killed. If you guys remember this is in Georgia. His son, Colt, who was unstable and dangerous, he gave him a present for Christmas that was a gun. What? Would they say he had a shrine?
Yeah, I had a shrine to a school shooter in his room.
Yeah. And
did you not ever go in your son's room?
Probably did. Probably didn't think much of it, right?
Yeah, just probably didn't even know about it.
Or he probably thought, you know what, that can't be my son, right? My son would never do anything like that. My son would never, ever, no way. What were you thinking? Because people had warned you, right? There had been more than a few warnings that he was dangerous. And the fact that he was still in school, because the school knew he was dangerous too, was tremendous. And normally these things, it's tough, right? Because a parent doesn't know where the kid got the gun, or you had the gun locked up and the kid was able to get it out and you did everything you possibly could. But this was not one of those times. Dad actively participated in making sure his kid had a gun. And maybe he thought, well, if I teach him how to use it correctly and what the repercussions are, he'll understand how dangerous. I'm sorry, he's got a shrine up of mass shooters.
Yeah.
You got to take every gun out of the house, and that kid needs to be in therapy.
Yeah, I need some help.
Because he's obviously not well. He's not. And, I know, so dad faces 29 charges. He faces murder, involuntary manslaughter. What happened to the kid? I can't remember.
Got to look.
And what wasn't the mom was involved but not involved? Because there's so many of these now that are coming up, because there was a kid in Cleveland, and then there's a kid over here, and then there was a kid in Detroit, and there was it's just this. But how many of these have we heard about, though, where the parents or the school know somebody's unstable, and yet they continue to allow these kids either to go to school, or the parents don't recognize how unwell their children are? And you've got to know, man, the minute you walk, like you said, do you not go in your kid's room? Do you not see that, he's got, I don't know, maybe it was Columbine or Parkland up there? Do you not recognize that he's got this stuff? You pay no attention?
Kid's in custody, awaiting his own trial.
But he's unwell. Like, the kid is unwell.
It's got to be.
So, it's... What do you do with a kid that is completely, probably, if he's got those things, it's probably untethered to reality? You're not going to put him in jail. You got to put him into a home where he can, probably stay for the rest of his life. But Pops should have known better. Pops, that's like that's like pouring drugs and drink into somebody who is going to go out and do something stupid and drive. That's what you did. Hey, you're going to go for a drive later? Yeah, I'm going to drive down the street. Here, let me give you all the drugs and alcohol I can give you and give you the keys. That was just insane.
So, son, I see you are really fond of that school shooter. Here's some guns.
Yeah. So, yeah, here's some guns. Here's some, and what's your defense? Because the school told you they were worried. Other people, professionals told you they were worried about him. And you went out and you bought him a gun for Christmas. First of all, were you not worried at all about yourself? Like, did you not think that maybe handing this kid who's unstable a gun could turn around and bite me in the butt by him taking me out? At no point did you think that? It's insane. I mean, it is insane that you would do that. And I think 29 counts is crazy. Remember a few years ago, that kid that went to school after the mom had told them how crazy he was, how bad he ended up shooting the teacher. The teacher survived, but the school knew that he was crazy and dangerous. The kids around knew he was crazy and dangerous, but he was afraid of him. And we play this bizarre game of, well, we can't keep him out of school. Well, why not? Right? I mean, the minute you get any kind of notice of anything, we shut the schools down. Everybody's on lockdown.
Yeah, in this day and age,
yeah,
you can't joke around like that.
No.
You are going to face real consequences if you think that's funny.
And then you had a kid who's completely unstable, who's young, who takes a gun to school, and then they go after the mom, and she ended up having the gun locked up. He ended up getting it, but she had warned you on numerous occasions he was dangerous.
He was investigated. This kid was investigated for online threats to commit a school shooting a year before the actual shooting.
What are you people doing? The minute that happens, what are you doing? I mean, he shouldn't be able to come back until psychologists, psychiatrists, counselors had give him A+. He had a mental issue, but he has worked his way out. Even at that point in time, in today's world, like you said, man, you make a joke and they shut everything down.
Yeah, in addition to gifting the weapon, the father later purchased a larger magazine that allowed the rifle he gave his son to hold more rounds. This occurred despite the alleged fixation on school shooters.
The school, and we've heard how many of these we heard about. We had the one here locally, right?
Yeah,
and who was also fixated with another person, that one in Wisconsin, where apparently everybody was talking, and they all kind of look up to the wackadoos at Columbine as some sort of heroes.
Yeah, the nihilists.
Yes, and there, and then we had that one in where was it last year? The shooting at the Catholic school.
Oh, in Minneapolis?
Yeah, Minneapolis. And they're all kind of the same, right? They're nihilist. They're pissed. They're angry at the world, and they're all together just angry, and they look up to Klebold and whatever the hell that other guy's name was in Columbine, as if they're taking on the world and getting back at it.
Yeah, he had a shrine to Nicholas Cruz.
Oh God,
the Florida.
Yeah,
I can't remember the name of that school.
Was it Marjorie Taylor Greene? Stoneman Douglas? One of those?
Yes.
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Stoneman,
well, it's not her.
Yeah, the Stoneman Douglas.
Yeah. So, I mean, I remember that was Valentine's Day.
Yep.
Remember that? That was a crazy day. And that dude shot everybody, and then he wandered over to McDonald's. And just crazy. And then, of course, but these people, if my kid put a shrine up to a school shooter, he's not getting a Nerf gun.
No.
We're in therapy every day.
Yeah, we're having a come to Jesus talk. Right there.
Yeah, no doubt. What would make this better? If I got him a bigger magazine.
Maybe I just need to teach him.
See, that's probably what he was thinking. If I could show him the repercussions, that there is no do-overs, that if you do shoot somebody, that if something does happen, that this is a situation where there is no coming back. There is no, we're going to, it's not a video game, right? It's not. These people that Cruz killed were real. They don't come back, right? This isn't a video game. And dude did not. And now Pops is going to pay the price. Damn Skippy, he should. Some of these things, you know what? It's hard to blame the parents because sometimes when the parents warn everybody, when everybody's been warned and the school still allows this to happen, or there's only so much you can do. This was not one of those times. This was not. He might as well pull the trigger his damn self by continuing to hand the gun and give a gun and get a bigger mag and do all of those things and not notice the school shooting shrine. Good God. You've been doing it wrong. If you think that you're showering correctly, you were wrong in that, okay? 7 mistakes the doctors say you are making when it comes to showering. First of all, you're using the wrong products, okay? You're using the wrong products. I know what products you use, but they're wrong. I don't know. I use soap. I didn't know what's the right product. Is there another? Is there another one?
Lard.
Maybe. Now, for me, I have sensitive skin. Very sensitive skin. Very sensitive. So, but, it's like I'm not spending $70 on soap, okay?
No, sir.
No. So you people are nuts if that's what you think. Secondly, you're washing with water that's too hot.
Yep.
Don't do that.
It's bad for your skin. Bad.
And they say, it's very bad for your skin. And that strips natural oils and can stress your cardiovascular system. So do not do that.
Also just dries out your skin.
Yeah,
so
you don't
much.
want that. That's not good. You're not changing your washcloth and loofahs enough. Yeah. I have a trouble not changing my loofah enough. I know that. So, but your washcloths and loofahs, you got to change them more often because, well, eventually you're going to get, it's a breeding ground for bacteria, they say. Scrubbing too hard. Trying to get that stink away. You don't need to scrub that hard because all you're going to do is give yourself a rash and it's going to be nasty and your skin. It's just don't do it.
Don't do it.
You're washing your hair all wrong. So this is something that Ken and I have known for years. That's why we don't do hair anymore.
Yeah.
Because there's no matter how good you think you're doing it, it's all wrong. You're not supposed to wash your hair every day.
Nope.
That's what they tell you. When it's time for a cleanse, people want you to understand, the doctor to say, look, shampoo is for the scalp, not for the hair. So it needs to be focused on the scalp itself. So it's not about your hair. It's about the scalp. Okay? Good God. I have to tell you guys this over and over. Showering at the wrong time. This is very important. All right? It's ultimately, as they say, a personal decision. Now, what I've been told is shower at night is better than the morning. And a lot of times that has to do, they talk about safety. People are not always with it when they're trying to shower in the morning and stuff. But showering immediately after intense exercise is a common mistake. Your body temperature and heart rate need to normalize. So jumping into a shower right after vigorous exercise, especially a cold one, can shock your cardiovascular system. So don't do that. And you're choosing, of course, the wrong moisturizer.
Well, and if you do that, you're going to get found naked.
Yes.
You're going to be naked.
You don't want that. No. Especially, you got to let your body calm down and everything.
Yeah.
And then, there's a reason when you ever watch if you ever played sports big time, guys sit in the locker rooms for 10, 20, 30, 40 minutes to try to just bring your body down before you hop in there. Right? Because you don't want to do that. And then the moisturizer, very important. I use just regular old Lubriderm without the fragrance. I can't have fragrance. I'm addicted to. I'm allergic to like anything but like any kind of metals, aluminum and stuff like that.
And what if they find you naked and your skin is dry?
You don't want that at all. Let me tell you something. You at least want to be moisturized correctly, is what we're saying. And get a better loofah. Maybe we'll do a 2-for-1 Mandels and loofahs. You don't know.